that's why we tell people about, partnering, right? Because if we come together, put money together, raise capital together, now we can come through and say, all right, let us get the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at, land down there. So let us get, this area, let us get this block and buy up and build on it. Or even the houses that can be rehabbed.
Yep.
Now we come together as a group, and that's what we talk about, coming together, because not having, now we can split up, you know what I'm saying? It's a group of us. Everybody got 20% equity into the property, but you got multiple deals like that.
I like that. So this is buying back the block Detroit. Basically what's going on is Detroit 2.0. Detroit is coming back. It happened a little bit faster than some people thought. But Detroit is coming back, so it's Detroit 2.0, and they just gonna make sure that, not only they born and raised here, but people who look like, them, the people who watch us and look like us, they literally own the block. We went to the property across the street. This is, they own this one across the street. So this is like real life buying back the block. This ain't just hashtagging, you know what I mean? Like, this is the real life, like they own this. So this can be done. I don't know if you can buy back the block in Metaverse, but in the real world of Detroit, you can.
Pretty much you can see one that's not rehab.
All right.
So you see, it's not rehab, but it's gonna end up looking like the one across the street.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like the same.
Same layout, this one hardwood floor, but yeah, so same structure, layout. That's the kitchen over here.
It was electrical in here. They ripped it out.
They ripped it out.
Of course.
Somebody broke in.
Somebody broke in and ripped it out. Of course.
Ripped it out, so
Yeah.
Bedroom.
We're in Detroit.
Yeah, so they came through the basement, they broke in and ripped out the electric.
When y'all plan to start rehab?
Bedroom. It's probably the next couple months. We got some other projects that we got going on.
Yeah.
So,
Going in, what's your budget to get this rent ready?
to get this rent ready, so it's probably gonna be for $90,000 to get this for rehab.
All right.
Like, you come to us for a rehab, that's not that number. This is our number. Doing this.
Yeah.
Ourselves.
Yeah, nah.
But if we, disclaimer. So that's like our number, but if we gotta manage it and stuff like that, for
Yeah.
another investor, it's gonna probably end up being
North of 100.
north of 100.
Yeah, north of 100, absolutely.
But like I said, you're not gonna have to worry about nothing. All your permits gonna be pulled, everything gonna be up to code, inspections. We're gonna do it from A to Z for you.
You ain't got
Start
to
to
lift a
finish.
finger. You ain't got to lift a finger.
Right. Everything.
Payment arrangement, right? So when people approach you, and let's say the price gonna be 110, right? You give them a draw schedule up front, so they know when payments are due.
Yeah, it's gonna be a contract.
Contract and a draw
Contract
schedule.
gonna be laid out, so it won't be no misunderstanding.
Okay.
Everybody gonna look at the contract, sign the contract, so now there's no misunderstanding of
Full
what
scope
needs to
of
be
work.
done. Yep.
Full scope of work. So I wanted this and not this. No, everything is detailed out.
So same thing, framing. Like I said, they ripped out the electrical.
All right, so y'all put new electrical in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, all right, so they put new electrical in and it got ripped out.
Right.
So that happens everywhere across the country. It's not an isolated Detroit issue.
But it's about, do the pros outweigh the cons? And that's what a lot of people gotta understand, because a lot of times, people that get on and they talk about everything that's sweet, everything that's good, everything that, this, I done made this, but don't talk about the cons that come with it. So it's just about the pros, they outweigh the cons or whatever, because it's nothing perfect. So you're gonna run into certain problems, certain things gonna happen, but it's about what do you do when you run into those obstacles?
We're not gonna say no names, Asia, but me and Asia, we seen somebody on social media posted a house they got in Detroit for, it was like a few $1,000s. They bought like $4,500, and they was like, yo, the house gonna need about $40,000. The joint was leaning. And you know what I'm saying? The joint was leaning. And I had a private conversation with her, and I'm like, yo, that looks like north of 100,000. And she was like, it absolutely is north of $100,000. So again, I was right about Detroit in that fashion. You can get the houses, but you better work with somebody, because these houses need a lot of work. And when you talking $100,000 rehabs, it's safe to say it's gonna be about 6 months, right?
Yeah, 6 months,
12.
maybe longer, weather conditions and stuff like that, because you know you can't be up on the roof in the wintertime. So like say 6 to 12. It just depends on when you started, what it needs and stuff like that or whatever. When you come into these areas, like if we come to Charlotte, we're gonna reach out to you.
Yeah.
We're gonna come talk to you, say, okay, where do we need to go? We're gonna partner with you.
Yeah.
And the same thing, if you come into here, come to Detroit, come talk to us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make sure, we're gonna tell you what it look like. We're gonna walk the property. We're gonna send you pictures of the property. We're gonna make sure that the property is not leaning. We're gonna make sure that the property is still there. Because there's been instances people thought they was buying the property and property wasn't even there. So
Not to talk about wholesalers, but make sure you don't get your rehab estimate from a wholesaler.
They be so off.
They'll
say this is $10,000 worth of work. That could be the point.
and we do wholesale it too.
Right,
so
exactly.
we just saying that you want to make sure that your numbers are correct. So when you come somewhere, get with a good team. We're not going to screw you over. We're going to bring value to you, and we're going to make sure that your project gets done. And you're not buying something that's not there, or something that's something that's leaning, or that it's been burnt down. Or at least you're gonna know what you're getting, because we're gonna tell you this is what you get. So now if you decide that you want to move forward, at least you'll know this is what I'm getting, and not thinking that you got something else. You thought something was there, something that wasn't burnt, or that was fire damage or something like that. At least you're gonna know what you're getting yourself into.
We will also be honest enough to tell you pass on this. And a lot of people won't tell you the truth, like, hey, don't buy this. But a lot of people just want to tell you to buy it so they can get the rehab or the wholesale deal and then kill you on change orders. So a lot of contractors do that too. They'll come in and say, oh, this is gonna be 40 grand, and they're gonna murder you on change orders. And every change order is gonna probably be 100%.
It's a game that they run. Contractors run all across the country, and they just saying like, yo, come talk to them so they can prevent those, and you have a bad taste in your mouth about the beautiful city of Detroit. I'm sitting at this hotel, bro. It's the Detroit River, right? And then the other side, I see Canada. They didn't show this to me on TV. I didn't see that part. You know what I mean? I just seen all the bad stuff on social media. But nah, Detroit is actually beautiful. You gotta stay downtown. So.
You can go other places besides downtown too.
Right. You can go outside.
We'll show you, man.
You just don't gotta stay downtown.
All right. Yeah.
Welcome to my book.
We had another rehab. This is a nice brick home. You look around the neighborhood, surrounded by all brick houses. You don't find that in too many cities. I have Obamacare insurance, so I don't know if that works in Detroit, but in Charlotte, liabilities on me. Okay, right. So hopefully the hospital takes Obamacare. So she has the can lights. If you look up, you see the canister lights, which makes houses look extremely modern. I love them because especially she has the bulb. I don't know
we put daylight in when we done.
Okay, yeah, because I got the LED joints, and I just like the way that light just hit everything and light everything up, man. Lighting can make a big difference. So this was a shell, right?
Yeah, I gutted it. It was full of trash, like, before it was amazing. Like, Jay seen it, so it done came a long way from whence we came.
Okay, so how many bedrooms this has?
4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms, how many baths?
Two baths. I added one upstairs, because most of Detroit houses only have 1 bath.
Correct.
So I added another one to get the full bath.
Okay. All right, before we walk this property, could you give us a little history on Detroit being, like, why Detroit got all these big brick houses here, right? Uh-huh. But in the early 90s when I was a kid, this was one of the blackest cities in America. And at one point, the city was thriving, okay, as well. It was a thriving city in America. So could you give me a history of, we talk about in the car, how Detroit created the middle class?
So Detroit created the middle class because we was the first city to offer $5 a week wages back during the Ford Model T days. That was the first plant ever. So we had the Great Migration.
The Great Migration from the South.
From the South, everybody coming up here, my family included, because they making money. So we really created the first black, this was middle class in general, black and white.
And Michigan is just straight up blue collar state.
Yeah.
Just straight up like blue collar state. So I remember hearing the stories about the money people made in the plant back in the day.
My goddad, he was making 60 to 70 an hour working on the high low, and this was up to the crash in '08. So what the plants did since they were crashing, they had to force out all those older people who've been there since 17, 16, 18. Like, my goddaddy been at the plant since he was 17. So you gotta keep paying them according to inflation and stuff like that. And then their retirement care is the bomb. They got the best health care. They offer some of them stock.
Yes.
They retired and stuff like that. And then they did buyouts. So they was like, basically how much you want for you to never come back to work. And that's what they number. And they was paying it because it cost them more money on the back end to keep them a long time. Because as they get older, there's more health care. You got to keep riding with the rate. So if I'm making $70 on the high low, when I'm going to go to college for?
Yeah.
I'm just going to go get my certification and I'm in there for 50 years.
The automotive business was a major employer in Detroit. So it still is. And tech jobs are saving Detroit though. But yeah, it was a big plant city. And with that being said, the majority, everybody in Detroit knows somebody who work at one of those factories. Y'all call them the big three, right?
Yeah,
Big three.
it is the big three.
Big three.
Motor City.
Yeah.
Motor City. So everybody in Detroit knows somebody, a family member that works in one of those, factories because that was just the common thing you do.
Yeah, and then back in the day, the plants used to be in the neighborhoods. So when they started closing a lot of plants and shipping stuff overseas, that really hurt Detroit too.
How much you purchased this apartment for?
It was about $7,200 roughly. It was really $12,500, right? So that was the purchase price on paper, but that was minus the water bill because a lot of houses in Detroit got big water bills, so people don't pay the water. And then it had a lot of taxes on it. So I negotiated down to that, and then I just got on the payment plan with the city for the taxes and for the water bill. So the water bill, as long as I pay $50 a month, they gonna keep it on.
Why are you in this area? Why did you choose this area to come into this area, to build in this area?
One, the deal fell in my lap. I wasn't even looking for no flip, but it fell in my lap. It came through my website. Two, this is Morningside/East English Village going back towards Mac, and the value is there. So I should be able to sell this between 180 on the low end to 225. But with all the updates I'm doing, I rebuilt the garage. I should be able to get 225.
So you're getting in the way of the overflow of what's the development that's going
Oh,
on
yeah,
around. You in the way.
Even if I keep it to rent it, I can get about 2,000. But I don't want to rent it. I want to sell it so I can do Parker.
Yeah, and just go on and move on with your life. And what's what's the ARV?
180 to 220, but I think I'm gonna get over that.
Okay.
So typical Detroit houses have a wash and dryer in the basement. So this used to be a breakfast nook or a kitchen nook. So I gutted it basically like the whole house and put the washer and dryer here. And then we're gonna do a slide barn door here. Nobody's doing that in Detroit. Everybody still keep them in the basement or bring them. Well, y'all the only ones I think all the way upstairs. So we different.
We create a model,
Yeah.
create a blueprint. Now, when everybody starts looking at what we doing, they don't want to do it. Because it's something different. Instead of having to travel all the way to the basement or, stuff like that, you save the time, do your laundry, make it a lot easier, a lot smoother. So we go in the area and now we create comps. And the good thing about that too is when you come in the area and you changing the comps, you gotta look at even the other homeowners that stay there. So now they like you coming in because now you also just brought value to their property as well. So now they got equity into their property.
So being that I'm a woman, I do my finishes a lot different as if I'm gonna live here. I'm being honest. So this was wrapped. It was a hole through there. You can't even tell there used to be a pipe going through the old chimney. We cleaned it up and I left it exposed because it was dope. Once I took the drywall off the plaster, I was like, man, this is beautiful. It used to be what's the little thing? A little pantry right there. Took that out at no point. And I'm putting like a pop filler, like I'm doing, soft close cabinets. Like nobody's doing that in Detroit. They just go and get Home Depot stock, and that's it. So, I use the same materials like they were saying on all my projects or whatever's left. It go right to the next.
And like you was talking about tech, right? Technology.
Yeah.
And we know that's what the future is. So, you having Bluetooth speakers or,
Absolutely.
or Amazon.
Absolutely.
Having those things. We know that's what the future is. Now, that's another thing that we're starting to do with our houses too is, and we're going to let y'all in, we even going to start putting the EV chargers. Because we know that's the future. We're going to do the EV charger and the solar because we know that's what the future is. So we plan on getting ahead of the curve.
I would love to turn this to one big ass master suite, but then I would lose my value because now it's not 4-bedroom. So I threw the bathroom in here because if I'm up here asleep at night, I ain't trying to go all the way downstairs. So it's going to be a
Absolutely.
shower kit, sink, toilet,
Yeah.
sliding barn door.
Yeah. Once you get in the habit of doing these rehabs, you're gonna know how to get better at using space. All right. So like she said, barn door. Like I had to do this in my primary residence. I had to when I rehabbed the house, remove that door and put a barn door there to save space. So and things like that. So but that comes with time.
This room, I really wanted to add a bathroom, but I'm coming like the further away from the stack I go, that's not gonna look right. Cause now I gotta run a big socket all across downstairs. So that's why I got thrown over there. So this one big bedroom. The hardest part is getting the drywall. I tell people the hardest part is getting to the drywall. Once you drywall, it starts moving.
Oh, it started moving.
It started
Now you
moving.
got it, you know, closed up.
Cause nobody cares about what's going on behind the wall.
No.
They just want to be like, it's the floor is done.
Yeah.
Like I tell people as a GC, I always work from the end to the beginning. Cause I gotta be 20 steps ahead. Like when I first bought this house, even though it was trashed out and I ain't good at it, I was already at the end and I gotta work my way back. New porch. They gotta come over here and fix this. That ain't cold. That's my trench for power to the garage. Automated doors. That's it. New gutters, downspouts.
So if you're looking at the garage probably get like 2 cars in there.
Yeah, it's a 2-car.
So get 2 cars. 2 cars will fit easy. Look like sometimes people have a 2-car garage and you can't get 2 cars in them. So, but yeah, that's 2 cars and I go easy.
It took 3 months for me to get power because DT had to run all new underground lines. Because the house been sitting vacant so long.
In conclusion, you paid $7,000. You said
About 72.
72. And how much you put in there?
Probably close to 120. My budget was 100,000. I always add 20% contingency, so I'm probably right at about 120.
So 120, 7,000, 120, and
So let's say 130 all in.
okay. And things are going right now north of 200 plus.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the one across the street going for 189, they dropped it to 159, but they rehab is bad. Like it's not good. Like I walked in there, it's not a good rehab.
We just finished up this walking this rehab that's in progress, and to me it's pretty cold out here. One thing you need in Detroit is remote start. So you better have remote start in your car because it's serious out here, you know. And this is warm to them. It's not that bad. It's in the 40s, but you know I've been living in Charlotte since '08, and in Charlotte, when it gets 30 degrees, school is shut down in Charlotte. When it drops to 30 degrees, school shut down. So, you know, with that being said, man, I'm a little chilly. We wrapping up and heading to the, we're about to go get lunch and then we're gonna, I guess, tour some more Detroit.